Welcome to kvci.blogspot.com in Valdosta, Georgia, Titletown, USA. You can visit my blog. In fact, I encourage you to go to kvci.blogspot.com and on YouTube, Boston G.B.R. I woke up this morning and I felt a great need to talk to my fellow Americans. I looked on the wall and I picked up a pacifier. And I put the pacifier on the necklace of the continent of Africa. And I began to think about all the videos and letters that I have written to even Walmart concerning my wrongful termination. I think about the 30 deaths that we've had in the Valdosta and Lowndes County Jail. No elected officials seemed concerned about it. The inhumane conditions and the people that have been let out to go home or to the hospital. Some of them have died. I was thinking this morning about the Valdosta City School Board of Education system that has been under court order since 1971 because there was a great disparity and discriminatory practice of not hiring black African American teachers. I thought about Attorney Roy Copeland. He's a good lawyer for having the courage to take on several court cases against the systems and agencies that be here in our local area, and I commend that beautiful attorney. I thought about the school system wherein there are only 32 seats available. In a city that is a metro city, yet a little country town like Quitman, they have 32 seats for citizens to sit. I've been saying it for years that there seemed to be a pattern and practice of ignoring the voters in Valdosta, Lowndes County, and perhaps South Georgia in general. I thought about Mayor John Freddy, who will not be running for office again, along with Councilman Wright, Councilman Yates, Councilman White, Councilman Payton, Councilman Norton, Councilman Carroll, and Councilman Vickers. During their tenure, decided to move citizens to be heard from the front of the agenda to the back of the agenda as the last item before they adjourned the meeting. Even council comments, city manager's report, all comes before the voters address the council. I always try to do my homework. So I went across the nation. This is what I'm working on now. I went to Omaha, Nebraska first. And online I'm pulling all council meetings, agendas. So far I haven't found any city yet with citizens to be heard as the last item on the agenda. But I'm not going to talk about that publicly yet. I'm going to do my homework first. But I told Mayor John Freddy and the council members that I was 100% sure that one day God would send a mayor by, or council members that would move citizens be heard from the end of the agenda to the front of the agenda. You know, it's amazing, and I got to say this again, that Councilman Yost made the statement that the citizens be heard leave the meeting, and therefore they don't get to listen to all of the meetings, and he said that was disrespectful, as well as disrespecting them, and that if the council members and the mayor and those listen to us, then we should remain at the meeting and listen to them, as well as the other items on the agenda. If I was below average intelligence, I would accept his answer or his observation of the problem. But I've been going to city council for a long time. I have seen the mayor give out awards for person of the week, or person of the quarter, or whatever it may be. I've seen dignitaries come from overseas locations, and people come just to see the presentation, and following the awards and the presentation ceremony, they leave the meetings, and sometimes it's 3/4 of the meeting, only leave 10 people in the audience. Yet, Councilman Yost said absolutely nothing. I'm not picking on my beautiful brother. I respect the man. But I gotta tell you the truth, because only the truth gonna set you free. And so the question is, will sooner or later, if they are going to follow the precedent that they have set based on the information presented, will they also move awards and decorations to the end of the meeting? I was sitting this morning and in the privacy of my own home, this just going through my mind. What is more sickening to me is how many of us go to church and espouse to being the best Christians, best Muslims, best members of Judaism, and other high and mighty denominations. But we cannot get involved in the daily practices and affairs that goes on in a city and county that governs every aspect of our lives. It behooves me to hear a person say they got the Holy Ghost, that they are saved and sanctified and on their way to heaven, but cannot stand up against the injustices in our world. It seems as if though they can only move if it's dealing with a religious matter. It seems as if though they are incapable of understanding that Moses was a politician in regards of the job that he did up going against the Pharaoh of that day, which was Pharaoh. And throughout the Bible, we'll see God put kings in office. King David, was that not dealing in politics, carrying on the affairs of a city or a nation? And so many of us are like little babies, sucking on a pacifier that somebody have given us to control us, to make us modern day slaves without us ever knowing it. You see, our forefathers and mothers were not slaves. No. They were not slaves. They were prisoners. They were prisoners. For they were confined on the plantation, confined to a house that the slave master set up, confined to prisoners' laws and rules. But today, if we cannot stand up for what is right and what is truth because of fear, then we are slaves. Oh, you may not have the chains on your wrists and ankles, but you're still a slave.